Good. Good. Awesome. So I'm Andrew. I have the pleasure of introducing Brady here, coming up from University of Lethbridge in the big windy city, or the small windy city. He's doing a presentation on "We Are All Best Friends." This is a phrase that I've heard at Lead and is ingrained now into my soul because of your amazing university and stuff too. So pay attention, make some notes and stuff as well too. One of the great things about these presentations is that you can take some things away back to your own institution as well. For any of the University of Lethbridge folks in here, you guys keep rocking it. You guys are amazing. But take it away, Brady.
Thank you. So on the theme of the presentation, let's start with a little chat here, eh? We are all best friends. We are all best friends. Woo! We are all best friends. We are all best friends. Woo! Cool, awesome, thank you guys. So yeah, I'm here to talk to you guys about team cohesion, kind of what creates group identity, what team cohesion is all about. I have kind of some tips and tricks that we like to do at the University of Lethbridge that I hope you guys can find useful at your institutions. But I'm also super interested to hear what you guys do. Actually, also a preference. I use guys as like a group of people. Please don't be offended if I say guys. I am definitely referring to everybody in this room. It's just kind of something that I use. So firstly, why are you guys here? Why'd you come to this presentation? Towards. Just kind of thought it was a cool chance to want to hang out, or what?
The chat.
Okay, that's good. So now you know the chat, you guys can all go. Excuse me. Okay. Sweet. So my first slide here this is Jerome the Gnome. Yeah. Does anybody know what Jerome the Gnome might have to do with team cohesion? Okay, cool. Good, you should. He pops up in a couple slides, and I'll let you guys know. We have to wait a little bit until the end to get the big reveal. But yeah, that's Jerome for you. So if I hit the next slide. Awesome. So this is kind of what we're going through in the next 50 minutes. So we're going to talk a little bit about the value of team cohesion. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I hope you guys all understand that there is value in team cohesion. We're going to go over creating group identity, what it means to be a group, and how we can create a group identity. Element of a cohesive team, so what we can do to be more cohesive with our colleagues. And then finally, we're going to touch briefly on team cohesion across years, what it looks like to create a group that spans more than just 1 year. So want to go to the next slide again. Perfect. So these are some things that I kind of just quickly brainstormed in my mind. Again, I don't want to spend too much time on the value of team cohesion because I hope we all understand that there is value in having a cohesive team and a team that gets along. Awesome. So one of the things that I find most important in my role is connecting with my colleagues and my coworkers as people and not just as coworkers. This is a super important relationship to build. It builds trust among your team. It allows for easier sharing of ideas, easier collaboration, all that kind of fun stuff. And it's also super important if you're looking for support, you need support from something. If you know your teammates' strengths and weaknesses, you'll know who to reach out to. So if I'm kind of having a down week, I just dealt with a tough situation with the resident, I know who I'm going to turn to give me support. If I need a little bit of energy, I need to pick me up, I know who I'm going to turn to because it's those energetic people. So knowing who your coworkers are as people is super, super important. They always say you can't care if you can't care for your residents if you're not caring for yourself, and that's where self-care is super important. I believe you also can't build a community with your residents if you don't also have a community yourself that you can rely on. So just keep that in mind. Rock and roll. Perfect. So super relevant to team cohesion years as well. So just keep this in mind. I'm going to talk a bit more about team cohesion across years at the end of the presentation. But all these points are kind of important both in year and across years. So just keep that in mind as we're going through them. Just want to go to the next slide. Common goals. All the pictures. Oh no, is there a picture coming up next?
Yeah.
Okay. No. Okay. We're good. Sweet. So common goals. This is stuff that we all already have with our team of RAs. So our common goals. We're all at university, so we all are looking to achieve academic success. Common goals. We all hopefully want our residents to have a good experience, and that's why we're doing the job we're doing. And I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we all want to have a good time. I signed up to be an RA because I want to have a lot of fun. Is that wrong? Anybody here doesn't want to have fun? Okay, awesome. That's good to hear. So we all have these common goals. This is super easy. This isn't something we need to force. It's just what it is. Just recognize those and know you have those connections. Shared experiences. Right now, we're sharing an experience. We have a connection, and right here, we have a group identity. We're a group of people that are at Lead. We're creating connections between each other. Another example of shared experiences. Everybody's gone through training week, yes? Fun times, like sitting with the same group of 40 people or how many ever for like hours a day. Super fun. Dealing with crazy situations. We've dealt like 3 slip and slides in our buildings this year. I would say that's a shared experience, like responding to an incident, like a slip and slide with somebody else. All these kind of things, again, help to foster connections between our team members. Common language. So this is, yeah, perfect. We also have a boats chant, so that's why I put the boats on there. If you want to know the story behind boats, come down, it's pretty cool. But this is stuff like rounds. We go on rounds, RAD, resident assistant on duty. We have council meetings every Sunday, so we call them council. We have facility meetings, we call them facil. All this kind of common language that we use creates a group identity. If I'm walking through the hallway with one of my friends on one of my RAs, and we're talking about, oh man, on rounds last night, people kind of immediately associate that with being an RA. So that definitely fosters a group identity. What is some common language that you guys use? Yeah.
One of our buildings is called first year dorm, so we all call it FIT.
FIT?
F-I-Y-D, so FIT.
I know suck in school. FIT. Anything else? Cool, awesome. Oh, another thing I was gonna say too, if you guys have like ideas or anything like that, don't put up your hand. Like I'm a very informal person, so if you're like, oh, this is sweet, just shut it out, cut me off. That's totally cool. We've got 50 minutes, so I'm like, let's have a discussion here. Cool, awesome. Traditions, rituals, and ceremonies. Oh yeah, is Jerome up there again?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so we're not gonna talk about him quite yet. It's coming up. But anyway, just want to stick that in there. So every year we do a giant slip. It's actually kind of funny. We do a giant slip and slide at the start of the year. That's outside. That uses water and soap, so it's totally okay. Maybe that's why we see a common theme of slip and slides in school. She can go down. But anyways, just all these kind of traditions and rituals that we have. Every year we go away, spend a weekend together, hang out, get to know each other. That's something we look forward to every year. It's just something that helps pass on a group's identity across years and stuff like that. We go to the next slide. Symbols. So we have our group of RAs. We call ourselves ORS, so that's the Organization of Resident Students. And as a part of that, we're actually a club on campus as well as employees of housing services. So right away, if anybody sees that symbol, they know the identity, they know who they're dealing with. I'm really proud to represent that symbol. It's the same with the University of Lethbridge. I love the University of Lethbridge. I love where I go, and so I'm proud to represent that symbols. Any other symbols you guys use? Awesome. Yeah.
U of A had some of those really cool you guys have new t-shirts this year with like a cool new logo on them.
On that too, they're all wearing hats, like the U of A hats, like right away, boom, there's a group identity. I know that they are U of A. Absolutely. That's super interesting. Cool. On the next slide. Finally, heroes, legends, and myths. The greatest turnout at the best event. I planned this program and there were 70 people there, and it was an awesome turnout. Pass these things on across generations. Tell funny stories that happened to past RAs. So you know the whole when you go to shoot throw an empty can in the garbage or something like that, you say Kobe.
Yeah.
Some person didn't understand it and they said they're like Toby. And so that's something that's passed on from generations. It's so stupid and most people don't really even understand why you say Toby. But it's just that kind of funny story that helps create a group identity. You can go to the next slide. So basically all this stuff, we need to embrace it. We need to acknowledge that it's a part of our lives and we need to be proud of who we are as a group. So if you guys want to, I was going to do this in tables, but there are no tables. So you just want to turn to the person beside you and have a quick 1-2 minute discussion about what group identity looks like at your institution, kind of some examples that you have, and be ready to share back in a couple minutes. Cool? Have at her.
You guys stand out? You guys are just jackets. I imagine rubber duck, yellow. Okay, pretty much what ours are, except that we have vests. They're just polyester vests. I just say lifestyle for that.
So somebody, one of the others, it was supposed to be Wilson, from last year. So
Cool. So they're wrapping up their ideas for next year. Awesome. So we'll come back to the big group here. Sweet. That's the kind of discussion I like to hear. You guys all got so fired up, and that makes me happy because it shows that you guys love who you are. You love sharing your experiences with other people. So let's hear it. I also have candies, bribes, I have Starburst and Skittles. So if you guys want to share, absolutely. Oh, that's what I like. Starburst?
Yes.
That's like 2 in fact. Like there's 2 in 1 pack.
Okay. Well, one thing that we have at Augustana is it started a few years back, 3 years now. What someone made an off-comment like remark during training, basically like when we were talking about supporting each other, and they were like, "Yeah, be bra, man," and be a bra. So now it's like established every year we do like return a top 10 with a piece of advice. It's always in there, and we're like determined to leave it always in there. If it's not in there, it'll break our hearts.
That's awesome. Yeah, for sure. Thank you for sharing. That's sweet. Anything else? Yeah.
So as CAs, well, it's RAs, but we call it CA. At the end of training, well, we all have the same hoodie that we wear when we're on like on call or at events and stuff. And so at the end of training, after the week long like craziness, we have the hoodie unveil of like what color our hoodie will be this year. It's always like super successful. So much fun. But,
yeah, that's a sweet ritual. Everybody gets excited. Right? Yeah. It's just a hoodie. It shouldn't be that big of a deal, but exactly.
They like hype it up. It takes like half an hour to share.
That's sweet. Also, thank you for sharing. Yeah, sure.
At MRU, we go to like a summer camp for a weekend, and we do something called Camp Cup. And so, like, you know those tin mugs that you use when you're camping? So someone, like, forever ago glued it to 2 logs, and it's become Camp Cup. And we do this, like, big competition between the team, and, like, one group gets the Camp Cup, and then you all have to drink out of the Camp Cup, but it never gets washed, so it's, like, a little weird, but...
Again, like, some of that's not that special, but, like, because of the context, it's important, right? People cherish that, for sure. Thank you for sharing, yeah.
Kind of like you were saying about the Toby thing, like we have a lot of inside jokes and stuff. But so I was telling a story on the first day of our training this year that over the summer I worked at a summer camp, and I was with some guys from Switzerland that their English wasn't amazing, and so we went out for beers on our time off, and we were like cheersing, and they thought the term for that was bless you. They were like bless you, and then I was just telling that story. And then right after I told that, someone sneezed, I can't remember who it was, and then someone else said, "Oh, cheers." The inverse of that just kind of like switched over, and now like everyone on the team says that. So.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, time for one more. Yeah, for sure.
Also, obviously, we have challenge points. So at the end of the training every year, all the RAs get challenge points that we're supposed to carry around with us.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah, it's been happening for 15 years. So if you meet someone who's an RA like 10 years ago, you can ask them for their coin. If they don't have it, they owe you a drink.
Oh, that's actually so cool. Yeah, I'm gonna start that. That's a good idea. Awesome. So as you can see, we all have these very unique but very special experiences to us that create who we are as a group, right? So let's keep that in mind kind of as we go through the next few slides. So you guys all shared some really awesome things that you guys are doing at your campus. With me, so I'm hoping to share some next ones with you. Feel free to like take whatever you want, don't take whatever you want, give suggestions to myself, chime in, whatever you want with other ideas. We'll kind of go through the next couple of slides here. So you can go ahead with the next one. Actually, might as well jump right to the next one right away.
Oh, one more?
Yeah.
Got it.
Perfect. So floor events, we all do programming, we all do floor events, we all do that kind of fun stuff for our residents. So why not take the time to do that with our colleagues? Right, we're already organizing, already planning events. Take like a Tuesday night and go. We went to the corn maze here. Takes like an hour out of your time, and it gets you connecting with your coworkers outside of work. So you're here. We're not talking about, oh, I had to deal with this resident situation. We're talking to each other. Oh, how was school? We're being personal with each other, and I think that's super important to be able to connect with people about things other than just your job. And this all goes back to the shared experiences that we were talking about. So having these things that can connect us, that we can talk about. Hey, remember that one time we were in the corn maze, and it took Dustin an hour to get through, and we were all done in 20 minutes. Like, and you get to make fun of Dustin, right? So there's an added benefit. If you want to go to the next slide, study sessions. This is something, again, very simple. It goes along with our common goals. We're all there for academic success. We have Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I believe. We have somebody different books out a room in the library. Oh, we can use the pictures. Let's do that. Somebody books out a room in the library, and we just have 2 hours where we just, whoever wants to show up and study that week can sit down and study. We can help each other with our homework. Whoever doesn't want to study, because they have a lot of midterms, no need to show up. Just something very casual, but something that we can connect over our common goals of doing well in school. So I think that's super cool. This is all of us like prepping our lead presentations, but you can't really see the faces. But there's some good faces up there. We can go to the next slide. Dress up themes to meetings when appropriate. So every week we have meetings on Sunday night just to get together, talk about kind of our resident sections, talk about what we want to do going forward. And so one example that we do every, we call these council meetings, every council before Christmas breaks, or last one before we leave for the break, we do like an ugly sweater pajama theme. So everybody wears their ugly Christmas sweater, their pajamas, stuff like that. We dress up and we have our meeting. And the cool thing about this is it's not disruptive to a meeting. Everybody can still talk, everybody can still have their voice heard, but it's still kind of a fun way to like jazz up a theme. This upcoming Sunday on tomorrow, holy crap, it's Saturday already. Tomorrow we all drew a name from a hat and we're all gonna dress up as somebody different on council. So just like something like really simple like that. It's kind of goofy, it's kind of weird, but it's just a fun way to, again, connect with each other, talk about these shared experiences and create a group identity. What other themes can we think of that we could dress up to meetings? Boom! Thank you. That's a good one. Like grass skirts and
Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
Halloween. Yeah, that's actually a really good one. It's very relevant. Yeah. So. Yeah. Okay. Actually, yeah. Last year, this is, yeah, super spontaneous. Just like a group of 12 RAs just showed up dressed up as me to one of the meetings, and they had like fake mustaches and they all wore like a ball cap. Like I'm known for like keeping my shoelaces untied, so I'll walk with like shoelaces untied. And, like, so yeah, exactly, just something super simple like that, right? Any other like this?
Disney princesses.
Disney princesses or princess. Like, I could be like Gaston. Cool, awesome. Yeah, so these are all really easy things that we can do. I'm gonna go to the next slide. Love letters board. Perfect. Yeah, there we go. Man, this is an awesome idea. Has anybody like seen something like this before or understand? Oh, okay, yeah, you get it. Sweet. So what we do, like I said, to every council meeting, we bring this love letters board. So what it is, everybody on council, so everybody that's a member of our team, they have a little envelope. So you take a full-size envelope, you cut it in half, and it works as like a mailbox. Huge, like prompt pieces of paper to council, and you just, it's a great way to write anonymous or non-anonymous letters to each other of encouragement. So you're acknowledging something that people are doing awesome. I appreciate that you blank. I noticed when you blank, a note of encouragement to blank. And it's just such an awesome way to show appreciation for each other, to value each other's roles. And just be really tight as a group. Also never gave you starters for the body theme, so good job. We also have Halloween over here. Yeah, that's sweet. So I'll give you starters. Anybody else on this? Okay, sweet. So I actually brought some of these cards here. I'd really encourage you guys. It's like a huge mass. I'll leave them on the table over here. But just looks like this, very simple. Just somebody who you connect with over this weekend. I certainly encourage you to grab one of these, write just a nice little note from, hey, thank you for spending the time to talk to me this weekend. Really appreciated when we played that game together this weekend. Write him a note and give it to him before you go. It's an awesome way. Makes you feel so good inside when you write them. It also makes you feel good inside when you get them, right? I know myself, I still have I take them all up to my wall. And just when you're having a down day, it's kind of nice to reflect on and see that you are valued and appreciated. Very good. So we'll move on to the nominations. Finally, we get to find out about Jerome the Gnome. Yeah, who else has been super excited to find out what's going on with Jerome? Woo, sweet, cool. So Jerome the Gnome started way back when, before my time. Ended up with Jerome.
I found him at Valley Village.
I was even gonna say, okay, that's cool. Because I was gonna say I didn't like plan for that answer. So Jerome the Gnome was found at Valley Village. Essentially, the idea behind nominations is somebody will bring Jerome the Gnome to council. And at the end of our meeting, they'll stand up and they'll nominate somebody else on the team who they identify has done an awesome job, either in performance, in attitude, in effort, just something that they're thankful for. They'll stand up and nominate them, and then they'll give them the gnome. Then the next week, the person who was nominated will bring that gnome back and do the same to somebody else. So you'll see that throughout a year, if we have weekly meetings, we have like 29 meetings throughout a year. There'll be 29 different people who are valued and appreciated in a social context. So I mean, I know not everybody enjoys being praised in public, but sometimes it's nice to acknowledge the awesome efforts that you get to see on your team. And then finally, this is probably a little bit better for small groups, but it's something that I really love. I try to do in every meeting I have. So at the end of the meeting, it literally takes 2 minutes. Just leave a section for shout out. So it's simple as acknowledging somebody on your team and the value they bring, something they did for you, either professionally or not professionally. So it can be something as simple as, shout out to Sarah for holding the door for me when we walked in this morning, or shout out to, or for letting me debrief with him. I had a tough situation, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your day. So it can be something very big, it can be something very simple. But it's just very important to remember that we're valuing each other, and we're valuing each other's roles in the team, because everybody has different strengths and weaknesses. Next slide. Wonderful. So as we kind of wrap up that discussion, do we see any common themes popping up from here? We've got Starburst on the line. So anybody who wants to share a common theme?
Like with our own institution, or with?
Sure. With any of these, with your own institution, just what comes to mind? Yeah. Awesome.
Similar to kind of the love letters board in training over like the whole 14 days, we have like big like manila envelopes, and like each person has their own. It has like stickers on it. It's really fun and decorated for you, and like these, and like you write something to a person or whoever you feel, and it can be anonymous, it cannot be anonymous, but not anonymous, sorry. And then at like our vesting ceremony where we get like our vests and our little like staff badges and stuff, we also get our warm and fuzzy envelope, and like you get to open it up, we can do it whenever, and like you get to see all these things that these people who didn't know you day one but now know you 14 days later, like all think of you and just like crying. And I have all mine like pinned up on a bulletin board across my bed. So I'm like, I'm appreciated.
Yeah.
Like
feels nice, right?
Yeah, it's a very good feeling.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. Like you said, like that's something that you can keep. Like I know when I'm an adult, I'll probably still look back on some of those like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember that person. They appreciated what I did. So that's super awesome. Anything else? Yeah. Again, you have so many starters.
I freaking love starters.
Oh
no. One of the common themes that like I've noticed is basically like keep a positive vibe, and also like communicating like the things that people do, because like you can think like, oh, that was really nice of them, but if you don't tell them, no.
Boom. Thank you. I didn't even think about that, but that's so true. Being able to being able to communicate your appreciation for each other is something that's very difficult. That's something I actually struggle with. It's like being able to go up to somebody and be like I really appreciate you. I appreciate what you're doing for me. And that's really difficult. So these are all kind of strategies to help those people who have challenges with that come out of their shell, if you will. That's awesome. Cool.
Kind of, but you guys are taking the time to actually plan events and plan everything for yourselves, rather than like how much you guys care for each other, because you're taking that time out of your busy schedule where you're already taking care of residents.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a form of self-care. I'm friends. I love the people I work with, so when I get to hang out with them, it's self-care. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. That's a great point. Cool. Anything else?
So, kind of similar to like your guys' shout outs.
Skills time?
Sure. Similar to like your guys' shout outs. We do like in the east portion of Mount Royal, we do something called Lollipop Moments. There's a TED Talk on it's not always doing the big things that make a difference. Sometimes it's doing the little things, and you might have no recollection that even made a difference in somebody's day. And that we have like this homemade lollipop tree, and like we go around and it's just like we pass it around, and like if somebody has like, it's just like, hey, like I was having kind of a rough day and you drove by and you just like, when you're like leaning down, you're just like, have a good day, and you like scream. That made me smile when I was having a really, really rough day, and that meant a lot to me. And you just give them like a lollipop for it. So like it's just very shout outs.
Yeah, that's also different. Who else has had that moment where like you just like to say hi to a resident, you don't think anything about it, and then like a month later they come up to you and like, hey, like, I was having a really crappy day. Thank you for simply saying hi. Yeah, but that's an awesome feeling, right? To be able to value that is super important. Excuse me. So this is just kind of a reminder. We're going to shift a little bit more into the team cohesion across years. Just kind of a reminder of what we talked about earlier with creating group identity. Kind of before we talked about more in the lines of within year group identity. But it's also super relevant and super important to across years. So kind of just keep this stuff in mind as we go through the next few slides. Again, we're kind of like wrapping up quick. So if you guys want to keep chatting, keep discussing, keep shooting out ideas, that's awesome. So go to the next slide. These are 3 kind of main things that I recognize that we do at the University of Lethbridge to increase team cohesion across years. There's a ton of other ones, and I'm definitely interested to hear what you guys do for this, but I think there's super important value in having team cohesion across years and seeing somebody you walk through the halls, go into class, and you run into somebody who used to be an RA. It's super cool when you get somebody like, oh, hey, like, how's your year going? How are the residents? How's the semester treating you? Stuff like that. Something that like, you otherwise wouldn't have anything to connect over, but you have this connection, you feel a part of a group simply because you're all together on what we call ORS. So if I go to the next slide. The sweet thing, this one's got an exclamation mark, so you know it's big stuff. Memory boxes, so sweet. So essentially what we do, each section, or each like pair of RAs has a memory box that they collect things from their year, artifacts, fun things, letters, notes, stuff like that. They put it in this memory box and it gets passed down from year to year. So this has 5 years of stuff in it. The horse thing here on the bottom left. 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, the RAs on that floor, like just really into like unicorns and cats and that. So they got a bunch of like plates and like old grandma like hangings like that. It's like super irrelevant, doesn't have anything to do with the job, but they threw it in there. We have like RA signs, so obviously all make door tags, they can put the RA things in there. We have pictures from, just pictures from 4 years in there. Oh, that's it, this, anyways. Oh, I'm reminiscing that. Just that. We got lanyards and sunglasses for our residents 1 year. So we grabbed stuff, threw it in there. My memory box at the start of the year, part of something bigger than just this 1 year and this one group of what 50 residents. You see the history. That's like, it kind of sounds cheesy to like say the history, but it's so true. Like you see the history, you look at some of these pictures, like, oh yeah, like I remember that person from 5 years ago. They were an awesome RA. I want to live up to that because I know if I'm a K4 RA and I don't do well, it's going to look bad on all the K4 RAs, right? And so I feel like the main takeaway for me with the memory boxes, something bigger, being a part of something that's not just 1 year, but seeing your role in the greater scheme of residents' lives, of our ORS lives, and what we aim to achieve. So go to the next one, transition events. These are also super important. So every year we have our current team and the team from next year get together, we hang out, we spend a night together, and it's super casual. There's no like actions or anything like that. We just hang out, we talk about things, we share tips, we share advice. Oh, you're gonna be an RA on D3, that's sweet. I was an RA on D3 last year. Here's what I would give you for advice. So just a super simple, casual way of passing down information across years. There's also something on anyways, transition events, super cool, super simple. I really encourage you guys and all you people, just get better at saying guys, I do apologize. When the new team gets hired in the next year, encourage whoever is in charge of something like that. Put something together, do a casual event, a meetup at the campus bar, go to the core maze, just any kind of program that you guys can do to connect across years. I think is super valuable. And finally, transition binders. This is the transition binder I'm building this year. Yeah, I love any office fans in here? Okay, thank you. Okay, kind of cool. Okay. Anyways, this would be cooler if you guys were the office. Anyway, so yeah, Michael Scott makes like a funny joke, like somehow I managed he's gonna write a book. So I obviously stole that idea and made a transition binder. So this is just a really good, explicit way to pass down facts, information. So you can include like important contacts that you use throughout the year if you're dealing with like external stakeholders, tips and tricks, all this kind of stuff. Because what I found somewhat frustrating when I started my role was just like we start from scratch every single year. There's no like, if I'm going to plan an event that I know has been done in the past, because I'm starting from scratch every year. So if you can like do a quick half-page event summary, this is what I did, this is the timeline I did on, that makes it so much easier for the next person who comes into your role to look at that and say, okay, this is awesome, this is what they did. Here's how I can do it better, right? So it's not meant to box you, it's not meant to constrict you, it's meant to open up opportunities, open up doors. So instead of starting from scratch every year, we're building on top of each other and eventually we're getting better and better and better because progression is awesome. What other ideas do we have? Do you guys do anything at your institutions? Do you have any ideas that you could start doing across years? Do you all see do you all see the value of team cohesion across years? Cool, that's awesome. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, we have the coin thing that we talked about earlier, and then one thing we also do in our first year residents is we say it's for the residents, but it's also a lot for the RAs. Every year the floors are allowed to like paint floor mural on the walls, and it's really cool to like just like when you're like feeling kind of like weird and stuff. You just kind of walk through and like you can see all the murals of people in the past, and they go back a ways. Like they go back, like our dorms have been around forever, but they don't go back all that way. But the earliest I've seen was like 90s at one point.
Yeah.
It's like as old as me.
Yeah, it's old, right? That's actually a really good idea. What I really want to start doing at UML is like we take a team photo every year, and I want to like we have like this common room for our race, and I want to like put it in there. So like in 50 years, okay, all right, we'll walk into that room, we're like, holy crap, like look at this guy's ugly style. Like is that really the style in 2017, right? That's awesome. Like, do you have something?
Yeah, we have at the end of our so we have 2.5 weeks for training. At the end of our 2.5 weeks, we do mock rounds. And for the mock rounds, what we do is it's mock situations, and the RAs respond to them. So the returning RAs, and then we get a lot of alumni RAs as well. They're going to be the residents, and then first year RAs get to respond to the residents, which is us doing student stuff. So
fun, right?
It's a good chance for like first years to also get like first-hand advice from when they're responding to us, because we do a debrief right after for like 10 minutes about how they responded, things they could do better. So it's a good chance to kind of get to know the people that worked there before and the people that will work there in the future.
So that's a great idea. Cool, awesome. You go to the next slide. That's essentially, yeah, just my face is up there for too long. Yeah, you go to the next one again. One more. Perfect. So that's pretty much all that I have. Thank you guys so much for being engaged, for sharing your ideas. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to hear what I had to say. Hopefully I gave you guys some good ideas that you can take back to all your awesome institutions. I definitely gained a lot of information from all y'all that I'm for sure going to take back to Lethbridge. So I'd love if we can all continue having a discussion, ask questions, just kind of little chat here. How much more time do we have?
Just under half an hour.
Oh, nice. We cruised to that puppy. Sweet. So yeah, let's chat. If you guys would rather that one, go eat snacks. That's cool too. But I started, so hang around. Also, while we're doing this, you guys want to like come and grab a couple of sheets of like really sporadic. But yeah, please, like it's so valuable, this exercise. Please just like take one of these and write it to somebody. Yes. So questions, comments. What do we all think? And how are we feeling? Team Cohesion? Good. Yes. No?
What was the boat thing? Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Boats. So yeah, it's just this really fun game that we played that like started kind of in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. Okay, cool, thanks. So if somebody is, sorry, let me gather my thoughts for a second. Thank you, good question. Starburst, whoever that was. Awesome. Okay, so we were all like sitting around just hanging out one day, like at the bar, just hanging out, you know, as students might do at one point in their lives. And one of my friends, this was actually before I was married, so this goes back a long ways. Yeah, this one, just I was married. So like one of my friends turns to his, he's like, hey, like check this out, this is gonna be really funny. So like, I may not even be telling the story right, but this is my interpretation of it at least. So he turns to his friends like, yeah, check this out, this will be funny. Like turns to his phone guy, he's like, hey, boats, and then like the guy out of nowhere went like this, and then like took a drink, and like so this was like, what the heck, like why did you do that? That's so weird. So just like started like saying boats, like oh boats, and, like get half the people in on the joke and half the people not. So half the people like, why are you doing this? This is so weird. And half the people like, oh, you got me, that was a good one. Right, so that like it's super stupid. People are like, what is going on? So now, yeah, we just like randomly chant boats, 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 and then we have to go, ah.
Part of the time is the ORS is oars, right?
Yes.
So we're rowing the boat of the
Yeah. Good question. Can I explain that well enough? That just sounds stupid. Okay.
I'm coming. Thank you.
Yeah, you know. Cool. Any other questions? Any awesome things that y'all do at your institution?
We didn't get to do it this year because North Campus didn't come down. If anyone's from North Campus, I'm sorry if you were there last year. It started last edition, so they didn't end up coming down. But we have a Martin Luther statue on our campus. And one of the guys on our team last year was like, I wonder what would happen if because he was in charge of leading this entire like line of like North Campus RAs. He's like, he rubs his head. He's like, oh yeah, we all do that for luck. No one's ever done that before. And like we all were sitting there and we just saw this line of students just like rubbing this head or else we're failing your exam or something. We're just like every year when North Campus comes, we're doing this.
That's awesome. And it hasn't happened since?
No, because North Campus couldn't come because we got unionized and couldn't.
You know who does that? They rub a toe statue.
Totally.
Fair enough.
We get a statue on campus just so we can rub something on it. Do you want more skills? You got that. Yes. Do you want more Starbursts? Awesome. Absolutely, you do.
So we have our Monday night meetings, like you're doing, but on Monday nights, and we do them like respectively like East and West. But then somehow afterward, it's like wasn't like originally planned, but it has now become like somebody is always going for wings because it's wing night at one of the pubs like 5 minutes away. They're like 19-cent wings, 16-cent wings. So we're like, let's go order wings. And like one of our teammates orders like 40 wings and then eats the ones you don't eat. And like there's always at least like 10 of us out of the 30 who go, but like we've gotten some high turns and our poor waitress every time. They're like, okay, you can't move from your spot. And like, I don't know, she's become, everyone's like, wings? Wings? We go for wings? And so even if you have the turn, you're like, yeah, go for wings. It's like 10 o'clock by the time your meeting's done, 10:15 maybe, if you by the time you leave campus, and we're not back to like midnight, but it's fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's actually something we're trying to do too, is like after our Sunday meetings, like go out and just hang out. And that is super important too, like after you have that, like maybe it's kind of a crappy meeting to people kind of get into it because they disagree, which is good. That's healthy to have like people disagreeing, because that shows that they care about their residents and they know what's best for their residents. But it's also important to have that like, it sounds too like official, but just like a casual hangout afterward is back to like, hey man, like that wasn't anything personal. I just disagree with that idea. We're good, awesome. Just try to hang out. So that's a really important thing, especially like after meetings. Just hang out, go for wings, do whatever for sure. Thank you for sharing.
Last year my team was like significantly larger than the team this year. We had 22 RAs, and then 2 SRAs. And I know at the end of the year, which was kind of fun, we did like end of the year awards. So like you were like randomly, and then you would like give them an award based on like an inside joke or like just like something funny about the person. It was like not serious, just kind of like light roasting, which was like kind of cool. I enjoyed that.
Like the Dundies. Yes.
So at McEwen, we have staff meetings as well once every 2 weeks once. So actually every other week we have a staff meeting, and then the week in between we have a meeting with just the senior RAs and the RLC. But at the regular staff meetings we have things called Shining Stars, which is a lot like I forget what you were calling the love letters.
Yeah.
At the meeting, if we just think of something, anything we want to say, we just write it on a piece of paper, throw it in a box. And it can be anything. And then at the end of the staff meeting, a couple people just read them all out to everyone. So it can be anything from like, good job on that program, or like, I like your mustache, or whatever. Just like anything to try to make someone feel nice. So.
And they save them all, and then you get all of the ones that were for you at the end of the year.
Really? Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I love that idea. That's really good. Thank you. Yes.
Something that we've bonded over the last 2 years.
I was just gonna say we were doing so well catching that. That's right.
So my RLC in my first year was in training, trying to tell us that like sexual relations with our residents were a no.
What? No, I'm kidding.
And instead of saying like having one night stands, they said having one night of appreciation. So now whenever anyone's like, I appreciate you.
How much do you appreciate me?
So it's like a running joke in the team now. It's terrible.
That's awesome. Yes.
At the end of the year.
Oh, actually went better than expected.
I got it.
You already have enough Starbursts.
Fine. At the end of the year, where everybody on the team like puts a list together of really nice things that we like about everybody else on the team, and they get compiled. And so at the end of your party, everyone gets this list of really nice things about them. So I mean, it can be anonymous and things like that. So it's like, oh my gosh, people like me.
That's so nice, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Cool. Yeah.
Something. Oh, no, please no.
You're good?
I'm good.
Okay.
Something we did this year, I'm not sure if they've done it any other year, but we had like a movie night and we all watched Guardians of the Galaxy. So now all we do is like every time, if something's like someone has like a dumb name or something, we're just like, what are you, taser face? Like he looked in the mirror and was like, no, taser face. That's like the only face.
Here have the metaphorical servers. Thanks for sharing. Cool, awesome. Thank you, everybody. Again, we'll wrap it up there, but like I said, like feel free to hang around, keep chatting. This is awesome. Like I said, I really appreciate you guys sharing all your ideas with me. Thanks for coming.
In traditional U of L fashion, I feel like you guys should do your "We Are All Best Friends" chant to end this up.
We are all best friends. We are all best friends. Woo! We are all best friends. We are all best friends. Woo!
Really great work, Brady. Here's a little certificate stuff for your presentation, and a gift certificate as well. Just like another big round of applause for Brady here. U of L, we has always had like these most stellar RAs that come out here and do like the most outgoing, amazing presentations, are out there like leading on games and presentations and stuff as well too. So a huge like round of applause as well to your leader here as well.
I used to be one of them, but it's all bad.
And I remember just saying when she was an RA as well too, and you were always just phenomenal as well. And I think it's get up here and present in front of people as well. So hopefully you guys are able to kind of take some things away from this as well and bring some things back to your team. I've worked with like a bunch of your guys' institutions and stuff to an extent or another, and I'm sure that your management will take a lot of things home too. I know I'm sitting there trying to take some mental notes about things I can do better too. So make sure if everybody has the guidebook app to go in there and do an evaluation as well, just so that everybody can get some feedback as well too here. Otherwise, we have a little bit of time here. Next presentations kick off at about, so you guys can finish up the evaluations and not on your way. Thanks, guys.
Anybody else have like cool chants they do with their school? I'm just like really curious. Are you guys gonna take some chants back? Okay, that's what I do.
My favorite is
Lethbridge, hot to go, H-O-T-T-O-G-O.
and also when we do basketball games, like P-U-T-L-T-O-N.
Put it in! Lots of spelling.